This will be a day long remembered. Now I am the master.
Welcome to another episode of Legends and Theories, and welcome to my thoughts on the new Lego Avengers Tower set. I'll also be taking a look at the promo that will be coming with this. And yeah, honestly, this is an awesome set. If you take a look at the tower, this is a massive building, and it looks really incredible. I think that the design of it is probably the best one they had from Marvel, and it really is impressive how well they captured this. I really wasn't sure if I would get this, but I think I eventually will. I am not going to get this immediately because I think I may have found a way to get the Tower of Orthanc for a reasonable price. Well, reasonable compared to what they sell it for. And it'll be around the same price as this. So I may be picking it up in the next few days. I still have to make a decision if I want to spend that much or if I could sell the sequel trilogy sets I have for a good price to some kind of toy store. But if I can't do that, then I probably will get it and eventually make it back through selling those sets on my own. So it'll just be a temporary thing I buy. But this set, it looks incredible just from the outside. And I'll take a look at a little bit more of the detail and my thoughts on the figures. So let's go into that. The first thing they have is this lower level that has the lobby from Endgame. And that's honestly a cool inclusion. Although it is odd that it's kind of Stark Tower and Avengers Towers combined. It does work, and I think the Avengers Tower is a little more iconic, although I really would have wanted to get one based off of Stark Tower because I don't know, that one's one I personally like more. The next level has more of Tony's lab with Ultron and Vision's AIs, and then below it, the lab where it's more where Hawkeye's worked on, but Vision is there. The level above that has Tony's armory and where he's working on his suits. And above that, there is Loki's prison, which is kind of moved from the helicarrier to here to just have a prison in there, and I guess that's cool. Not super accurate, but it's a nice inclusion. And I decided not to zoom in on this because the images were way too blurry. I didn't want to pull everything out. I will eventually have a review of this set, so yeah, this is honestly a great year for Lego. I think I'll talk about that in a separate video. But this is a really cool and good looking set. The next part is the only part I can find from the top is this image of where the Hulk beats up Loki. There is a little area below it that shows where the Avengers have the party in Age of Ultron, but it's way too hard to see from a image from the box, and it looks like it was only sent out to people who have press kits and stuff from the Lego Ambassador Network, so I was not really able to go and zoom in on that from the box. It is there, but I'm not able to show it. There's also a few other details that are way too hard to see. Then there is this little Quinjet build, and it's nice. It's meant to land on the landing pad to the Avengers Tower. And although it could have been the Age of Ultron one to get a different one than the one many people would have got earlier this year, I still think that this is a nice inclusion and it just, isn't necessary, but it's something cool you can have and add on to the set. And finally, the figures is an amazing inclusion. I think that I saw when you count everything, it is actually 31, including like big figs and I think the dummy build and stuff. So you get four Chitauri, Loki, a brand new Hulk, and I'm not sure if he has double-sided printing on his head because I heard that the hair is removable using the Thanos body to make him have a rotating head, two Captain Americas to represent him coming back in time in Endgame. You then have Thor with a new hairpiece, two Iron Man suits, both from the first Avengers film. And then it includes a generic Tony Stark dummy. And then, interestingly enough, it has Scarlet Witch with a waist cape, and that's interesting because I thought that they weren't doing that anymore since the clones haven't been getting any of their commas. So I'm interested to see that they can still do it and wonder why they didn't include one with Rex, since that set is even more expensive than this, and it would make a lot more sense to include it. Then there is Wong, who's an interesting inclusion because he's never been in Avengers Tower, and I think it would be better to get Quicksilver since he was only in one set and I think goes for like $30-$40. Then there is War Machine, and then the Wasp, who's also a really interesting inclusion since she also never has been at Avengers Tower. She does have an Ant-Man micro figure who makes sense since he was here in Endgame. And then we get a brand new Hawkeye and Black Widow, which are both good inclusions since they are from the first Avengers film. Moving to the next set of images, it includes the same Nick Fury that's been in way too many sets. And then there is a new Falcon, which looks really cool. After that, we have Pepper Potts, who is basically the same figure that's appeared in a few other sets. Next is Helen Cho, who I don't think we ever got in minifigure form before. And then there's Eric Selvig, who is just really awesome to have since I can't tell exactly, but I've heard that it's the same head as the one from Luthen from Andor, which does make sense since it's the same actor, and I was expecting we would eventually get him. After that, we have Alexander Pierce and three shield agents, one of them being Tony Stark in disguise, which you could easily cover up to just be a regular Tony Stark figure. And I think that's all good since you get basically the Avengers that time traveled back to this point in Endgame. Going over to the next figure, we have the first Ultron. And interestingly enough, this is far more based off of the first Avengers film than the second, and it is using the design of the updated Avengers Tower, which comes to think of it is really weird that, especially a giant skyscraper like that, was completely renovated by Tony Stark to have a completely different color scheme, and completely different windows, and really everything. So, thinking about that is just kind of weird. But the next figure is Kevin Feige. I mean, it's a cool inclusion, but I think everyone wishes this was Stan Lee, and he is not in the promo to this, which is why I will not be getting this instantly. If it was a Stan Lee figure in the promo, then easily that would have been sold to me. But I could get Orthanc, and getting the promo I'll be showing in a minute is not really worth it to me. Then finally, we have an amazing looking Vision figure. I think this is the first time. I can't remember if it was on the Electro figure or not that I've seen transparent legs. And I do hope that this is kind of used to make a Force Ghost minifigure in Star Wars. I think also his cape is supposed to be transparent, so I think that this really could be used, as I said, to used to make Force Ghost minifigures. That figure looks amazing. And the final thing I want to talk about for the set is the Chitauri Leviathan, which looks really cool, and assuming this isn't something just included for the picture, looks like I'll have a giant stand to hold it up and put it on display since it can't attach to the tower itself. The promo to this is honestly pretty bad. You get this really generic taxi build, which you can probably easily build from basically any other set that you could get a taxi from, and you probably get the pieces to this really easily on Bricklink. There's really, I don't think, anything special about the driver. There is the two Outriders who, again, there's nothing special about them. And although I can't really tell with the Black Panther figure that's being shown, there's nothing special about him either. So yeah, honestly, this gives you no reason to want to buy this day one, and I'd much rather just wait to get this and buy or thank, because I can basically get it for the price of this set, which I believe is $500. But I want to know what you think about these. Please let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next episode of Legends and Theories. Thank you for watching this episode of Legends and Theories. Please subscribe, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, check out the video on screen, and may the Force be with you.